If Atlantis ever existed, what kind of world did its people inhabit? According to Plato's detailed description in Critias, the Atlanteans lived in a breathtakingly advanced society, a marvel of ancient engineering, natural abundance, and spiritual depth. Whether fact or allegory, the image he paints is striking, a utopian civilization whose brilliance still stirs the modern imagination. Plato tells us that Atlantis was a vast island, larger than Libya and Asia combined, a claim that has puzzled scholars for centuries. Located beyond the Pillars of Heracles, the Strait of Gibraltar, the island lay in the Atlantic Ocean and was rich in every natural resource imaginable. Fertile plains stretched inland, surrounded by mountain ranges said to surpass any known in Greece. The climate was mild and ideal for agriculture, with regular rainfall and an abundance of rivers, springs, and wildlife. At the heart of Atlantis stood its capital city, a masterpiece of design and symbolic geometry. The city was built around a hill where the sea god Poseidon was said to have first united with a mortal woman named Cleito. From this sacred center, the city expanded outward in a series of concentric rings, alternating circles of land and water, connected by bridges and tunnels. Canals and harbors were constructed to accommodate ships, while roads radiated outward from the city center, linking the capital to the rest of the empire. The capital's architecture reflected both elegance and power. Grand palaces and temples dominated the cityscape. The Temple of Poseidon, at the center of the city, was a monumental structure covered in silver and orichalcum, a mysterious red-gold metal Plato claimed was second only to gold in value and beauty. Inside stood a towering statue of Poseidon, driving 6 winged horses, surrounded by dolphin carvings and golden altars. The city's infrastructure was astonishingly advanced. Aqueducts carried fresh water from distant mountains. Drainage systems managed floodwaters. Massive docks lined the harbors, built to serve a formidable navy. The Atlanteans were masters of irrigation, with artificial channels and sluices directing water to vast farms capable of feeding the entire population. The central plain, a rectangle 3,000 stadia long and 2,000 wide, according to Plato, was meticulously cultivated, divided into sections, and overseen by a vast bureaucracy of administrators. The people of Atlantis were both warriors and scholars, artisans and priests. Their society was hierarchical, ruled by 10 kings descended from Poseidon, each governing a district of the island, but united under a central law code. The kings convened periodically in the Temple of Poseidon to settle disputes and ensure justice. Their laws emphasized balance, duty, and reverence for the divine, a harmony between power and virtue that Plato believed was essential for a just society. Spirituality played a central role in Atlantean life. The people honored the gods through ritual, music, and festivals. They believed in a divine order, one that required humility and moral responsibility. Their downfall, Plato suggested, came not from external threat, but from a gradual decay in these spiritual and ethical principles. In terms of achievement, Atlantis rivaled and perhaps exceeded any known ancient civilization. They constructed massive buildings, engineered sophisticated water systems, and maintained an empire that stretched far beyond their island. Their navy was vast, their armies well organized, and their economy flourished through trade, agriculture, and craftsmanship. They had access to rare metals, precious stones, and exotic goods from distant lands. They likely possessed knowledge of astronomy, mathematics, and medicine, though no physical artifacts have been found to confirm this. And yet, the most extraordinary claim about Atlantis may be that it all existed in the distant past, allegedly 9,000 years before Plato's time, placing the civilization around 11,600 BCE. If true, that would make Atlantis older than the earliest known civilizations by millennia. Mainstream archaeology considers this date symbolic or exaggerated, but some alternative theorists link it to the end of the last ice age, a time of rapid climate change, rising seas, and possible cataclysmic events. Could such a civilization have flourished in the prehistoric world, only to be wiped from memory by disaster and time? Most scholars remain skeptical. But even if Atlantis never physically existed, the vision Plato offered of a harmonious, technologically advanced society living in balance with nature and the divine has inspired thinkers for generations. From Renaissance philosophers to modern urban planners, from writers of science fiction to seekers of hidden truths, the Atlantean ideal persists. It is a symbol of what might have been or what might still be possible if wisdom and power were united. As we move forward, we must ask, what happened to this paradise? If Atlantis truly existed, what forces led to its disappearance? Was it an act of the gods or the inevitable result of human nature?